Hey, you lovers of Clear Lake. Ross England here, Clear Lake Guide Service with this week's fishing report, lake conditions. Today is Thursday the 12th. Hey Gracie, what are you doing? Yeah. Kind of a weird day today. It's been, let's just say the forecast was not quite right again. I just came from the other side of the lake where it was raining on me. So a little bit better off right here floating around out in Corinthian Bay while I shoot this. So today's date, Thursday the 12th. Conditions. Lake level has come up 0.4 of a foot this week. We started the week at, or I should say 7 days ago, we started at 3 feet in Rumsey. It's now at 3.4 feet Rumsey, so that's 0.4 of a foot of lake rise. And you can kind of see it as you get around the lake a little bit. I focused on the upper end today, just running around. We spent a little bit of time yesterday down on the lower end. Normal for this time of year when we've had storms like we've had, you go to the mouth of Rodman and it's muddy. It's not super muddy, but it's muddy enough. It's brown. You can see maybe 1.5 feet out in front of it. Then it just depends on which way the wind is blown. If the wind has been blowing from the north, then what you see is you'll see a lot of that mud get kind of drifted down along the Nice and Lucerne shorelines. And it wasn't too bad from what I saw today. It's a little bit of a stain to it, but you can still see 3 feet. Up in Lakeport, it's fared a little bit better. I would say you could probably see 3.5, at least in the shoreline that I looked at. All that tells you is that for the most part, we haven't had an east wind blowing the mud back into town. Now, down below the Narrows, totally different story. That water down there looks pristine. We saw water clarity that I would say up to 8 feet that we could see a bait sinking. So pretty clear down there. It's continued to get clear, and that end of the lake will probably keep getting clearer as it gets cold. Water temperatures held up pretty well yesterday down in the Narrows, the Rattlesnake Arm that we spent a lot of time in. We found 52 to 53, so we'll just call it 52.5. Today up on this end of the lake, when I launched at the county park, it was 51.3, and then now as just before I got ready to start shooting this, I took a real quick look and it was up to 52.6. So I'd say it's pretty safe to say in most places it's, call it 52 degrees. Not bad. I mean, if it stayed that way all winter, I'd be happy. The other place I should mention about the mud is down out of Redbud. That creek that comes in down there was throwing quite a bit of mud out as well. So I think I've covered water conditions, activities. As far as I know, there's nothing going on this weekend. It looks like it's Sunday's supposed to be decent weather. Saturday, who knows? You know, this wasn't supposed to happen either, so you never can trust these guys for what they're supposed to be forecasting. We'd all love to be wrong as often as they are and still remain employed. Fishing report. Haven't been on the water as much as we normally are this time of year. Still kind of bouncing back from being gone for a week. And honestly, I'm just not going to push myself to come out and fish in crappy weather if I don't have a reason to. So there was a lot of days where it was windy, a lot of days that it maybe wasn't windy, but it was raining, it was cold. So I didn't get out as much. We fished yesterday, fished a little bit today, just goofing off. The only thing of note was if you look at our Facebook page for Clear Lake Guide Service, you may have already seen it, but we posted a picture of Jim's 9 1/4 that he caught the other day. Well, that would have been yesterday. We really did try to bang around and spend a good solid 3.5, 3 3/4 hours throwing a Huddleston around, and we did get bit on it. We just never hooked any fish. So that's just the way that goes. today I goofed around and I wasn't very prepared. I came out and was just going to throw an A-rig around. The first spot I stopped on, I caught 2 fish in about 5 casts, and then parts of it came flying off, and one of the sleeves flew down, and by the time I started repairing it, I was spending more time repairing it than I was actually fishing, so I put that away. Threw a rip bait around a little bit, didn't really produce. Caught a couple of fish on plastics, but I didn't really fish that hard. I was moving around more, just spending a lot of time with my side finder on, just looking for fish, trying to find groups of fish and see where they were positioned. I know that guys are catching fish on crankbaits. I know they're catching fish on rip baits. I know the A-rig has been pretty good for some guys. And of course, there's been a pretty good minnow bite for a couple of people. It's been pretty well publicized. I don't think that bite is necessarily all over the place. I think it was pretty specific to a couple of very small areas, but nonetheless, there was a lot of fish caught by a few people fishing minnows. So this time of year, what you're going to expect to find, clearer water down below, a little bit more stained water with storms up here on this end of the lake. Generally speaking, that end of the lake, the lower end is going to produce a little bit better and a little bit more consistently because of that clear water. Plus, these fish have been so doggone deep for the last month, they really haven't changed anything. I mean, they're still down in the 20 to 25 foot range, some cases even deeper. The crappie fishing, that's coming around. There's guys, I've seen guys catching fish. I'm not going to say that it's wide open yet, but this is the time of year when it starts to get pretty doggone good. As long as the conditions stay like they are, they'll be okay. So look for a crappie bite. I've spent a little bit of time looking for a catfish bite again, and it just didn't work. I caught a couple more cats, but just not on the right bite in the right place, doing the right thing. So I'm going to keep looking for that because that's something I really enjoy doing this time of year. So that's going to be your report for today. I'm going to get in while it's sunny and warm and stuff is actually starting to dry out from the little shower that I went through. If you are interested with fishing with us next year, springtime, you better start looking because about half to almost 2/3 of April is already booked and gone. March is a really good time as well as May as well. So looking forward to seeing you whenever we see you. I think that there'll be some good fishing here this winter. The way things are looking, still holding up. Water level's still looking good. So don't be afraid to give us a call or get in touch with us. Also, any of you folks who attend the ISC show in Sacramento, looks like I'm going to be there Saturday morning. So if anybody has any questions, wants to talk to me, wants to meet me, you can certainly do it there in Sacramento on that Sunday morning. I'm probably going to be wandering around with my wife on Saturday afternoon, but look for Sunday morning. And by all means, if you have any questions between now and then, shoot them to me if you know you're going to meet me there, and I'll be prepared with them because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So from Gracie Dog and I, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Caleb, take it easy. Be a good kid. You're doing good. Hang in there.